an active and healthy Europe. It's just some keywords. So we are, of course, just giving some ideas since we are expecting your help, your contribution during the workshop sessions, whether we are right or whether we are wrong. We think it is a Europe at least where the participation rate of the population of 30 minutes per day, 5 days per week will be increasing, where schools have compulsory physical activity for at least 1 hour a day. Out of school physical activities are engaged in for at least 2 hours per week. All age and social groups of society are aware of the benefits of an active and healthy lifestyle. European citizens have easy access to sport clubs and facilities, and so on and so on. This is just a very rough collection of what could be put forward as good reasons and to describe this concept. We do need partners, there is no question. ESFAN as such might not be strong enough, especially at this initial phase of our development, and there is some interest, as I said before very carefully, that the European Commission might be interested in this sort of concept. We got some positive words when we were preparing this conference. Of course, WHO, Europe, but this needs contact, this needs discussion, no question. But this is our ENSO as a political partner in sport in Germany, in Europe, private enterprises, cities, communities, sport clubs and schools. So of course it should be a comprehensive concept and structure behind. Objectives of this concept could be to encourage all, or at least the majority of ESFAN countries in Europe to be involved, to encourage the growth of sport clubs throughout Europe, to encourage the promotion of health concept within our members, to say that active and healthy Europe involves not just active Europe, but also active and healthy clubs, families, cities, communities, workplaces, and schools. And I don't know whether some of you are aware, this concept of an active city as a potential part of the overall idea is already being operated. So I can only recommend to you to have a look at Liverpool Active City. Liverpool is one of the leading cities in the world that is already working in this field. They have launched in 2005 a most formidable and fantastic program. It's all put in the website. It's really hot stuff to read. They have done it all. And in 2 weeks' time, I have the privilege to be in Liverpool, where the Liverpool administration is holding an event, and they have invited 12 major cities from Europe to present to them the active city concept, including Stockholm, Copenhagen, Belfast, Glasgow, Sheffield, Bergen in Norway, and so on. And we are trying to commit the Liverpool people to help us with this project as a reference that we can need, and not to start again all the work. Since one of the major ideas behind all what we are talking about, and this is probably one of the major key aspects of ESFAN, that we have to do what we can to avoid double work. We all have enough workload on our desks, this is not the question. However, we know that in many cases it could be much easier if we at least knew what's happening in other countries or in other communities. So one of the key factors should be, of course, also to help to avoid this double work, to be more economic, since also the funding in our field, when it comes to organizations, we are not talking about governments, we are talking about our and your organization, money is scarce. And there is still, of course, a picture that most of it goes into the competitive Olympic sport and not exclusively in our field. So what we are concept, and of course, we have to consider also those people who are in charge of doing this sort of projects, active and healthy citizens, since we also need some role models from the people themselves. I mean, we have to find some good examples, good concepts. We need volunteers. I mean, we all have to be aware we will never have enough money from the organizational point of view to do this all with full-time professional people. So we also, of course, need further concepts to motivate and to recruit and to educate and to award active and healthy citizens when it comes to the question of volunteers. What do we mean with an active and healthy week? As part of Active and Healthy Europe for a Healthy Lifestyle, ESFAN suggests to launch an Active and Healthy Week as an annual program for the promotion of sport for all, physical activity and health. And of course, this program would be open for all ESFAN members. And of course, it needs a how-to-do kit, it needs instructions, it needs a manual how to participate in this sort of idea. From our understanding, this Active and Healthy Week could be at the end of May. There are some good reasons for that. Of course, also the fact that the last Wednesday of May, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank those of you who have been participating at this year's European or International Challenge Day. Always the last Wednesday in May is Challenge Day. That also due to the potential funding starting in 2009, that we need some sort of standardized program open for regional and local events, but also for semantics, to be a promotional event in order to raise the attention of as many European citizens as possible, supported and endorsed by partners, and to promote a comprehensive, systematic and sustainable policy. And if we are referring to this concept of an active and healthy Europe, there could be at least, again, three basic components. There could be those events which are on a standardized level, would be proposed by ESFAN, like for example the European Challenge Day, the European Walking Day. But of course, we would take the chance to include all the excellent and outstanding concepts you have at your hands already today. So it would be just the idea of at least concentrating of some of your work into this particular week to make it even more valuable from a national and regional point of view. And we would be working on a concept to endorse certain national initiatives from your organizations which are so outstanding and so important that they might be also very interesting for other countries in the region, in the neighboring region, or in other parts of Europe. So we would have a whole set of different events, programs, and so on, all under the umbrella idea of Active and Healthy Week. So to say, this would serve as a framework, but would help us at the same time to bring together good initiatives and activities and make it for the first time some sort of a European approach and event. We need, of course, something like a global brand strategy. This is now from the marketing point of view, you are all aware of that. Of course, at the same time, regional aspects, for example, as semantics, may require variations in the global brand strategy. Well, this is the basic idea. It is not elaborated to the very end. I mean, this got very clear. However, it is our strong belief that it is worth discussing and working on an idea like that. And that's why the basic task we have to fulfill today would be indeed to do some work on this concept under the understanding that basically there are not many good reasons to be totally opposed. We would just like to work out and find out whether there is a chance, whether there is an opportunity to work in this field and to take some task here from Bordeaux for our work and to continue. Those are some of the questions our moderators are aware of. There can be more questions, other questions, but it is our hope and our wish that we could go through these various questions that might help us to find out a little bit more about the opportunities which are included in this basic sort of idea. Thank you very much for your attention.